Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to A Day in My Life. I am Kate. Today's June 7th, 2026. I feel pretty tired today, to be honest. I want to clarify right now, though, that I did reapply the mascara because last night I was rubbing my eyes and it started to come off, so I just kind of started to tug it off. So this is reapplied. We're not on day 4, although at some point we probably will be. My goodness. So I am definitely feeling pretty tired today. I did not want to record another video with the opening being me in bed. So I got out of bed and for some reason my sleep tracker, like, it thinks I went to bed earlier than I did. And I think that that has to do with the fact that I was using those breathing exercises I was telling you about, those longer breaths, to try and get to sleep last night. And what it feels like right now is a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear that I'm feeling, and last night too. And like being super stressed out, but it really feels like that adrenaline, that hypervigilance is all starting to kick back up. And I don't want that. I just want to be back on a schedule where I can sleep, at 10 p.m. until 7 a.m. because that was my schedule for a minute and I enjoyed it. The hiccup in my schedule makes me super anxious as well. So anyway, just dealing with a lot of fear. And to be honest, I know I'm going to mention this, I think, one more time, right? Because it is really bothering me. And so what's really bothering me is that situation with the psychologist doctor, and the and part of why it's so bothersome is because I have had the worst time getting and finding adequate professional help for mental health. And so there were a few things at the facility where I was doing TMS that were kind of like, is this appropriate? But I just was like, you know what, it's fine. The majority of everything else is good, so fine. But that doctor's comments have really set me off because he was very dismissive, he was very invalidating, and he just should not have done what he did. And I'm just gonna say it. So the first time I'd met him was halfway through TMS, and he had mentioned something along the lines of, you don't strike me as an individual who has borderline. Okay, well, you've known me for about 20 minutes. We're 20 minutes into the conversation or so when he says this. So I'm just like, okay. And I think originally my therapist right now had kind of thought that too. So I don't know what it is that I give this initial impression, like, totally got it together, guys, which that's great. But I was also immediately thinking, like, he should not be saying this. He should know better than to be kind of making these sort of implications. So that really bothered me. And then I had gone back to my therapist and told her, like, oh yeah, he pretty much had said XYZ. And she's like, oh, no, 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 you definitely do. And I was like, I know I do. And my frustration with that, right? My frustration with that invalidation. Well, let's go a step further, right? So I go back for that final TMS session and meet with him. And he, for one, was late, had that whole conversation. But I mentioned to him, like, I know last time I was here, you pretty much were saying I didn't seem like I had that. And he's like, well, no, 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 that's not what I said. And he basically is insistent that it's like the PTSD. And just like we literally I even had to say, agree to disagree because he was just so adamant about me maybe not having it. And I'm just like, this is what's upsetting the most is that I got that first diagnosis. That was my first diagnosis ever when I was about 22 years old. then other therapists I'd met with after that, and like much after, because I was in such denial. I was like, I'm not going back to therapy, you know, like I've got a family to raise. I was 22, married, and had 2 kids. I wasn't going to focus on mental health. I was fine, even though, ask my ex-husband, I'm sure I was not. So anyway, you know, and then years later going back into therapy, and I didn't tell the therapist. Yes, I did that intentionally. I did omit that information because I felt like, well, if they can come in here and eventually say, after sessions and sessions with me, you know, this is your diagnosis, then fine, I'll believe it. And that happened with like 2 or 3 additional therapists, psychologists, people. I don't know all their titles correctly. So yeah, each time after that I had met with a new therapist, after several meetings, and they gave their diagnosis and me not disclosing what I had, it was always the same. It was borderline. I didn't even know I had a PTSD diagnosis until like, I don't know, 2019, where one of the therapists I was seeing had casually just mentioned, like, oh, that's your PTSD. And I was like, okay, like, since when? Like, and you know, again, it's one of those things, I'm not out here like assigning diagnosis to myself, because who wants that? Like, I don't want any diagnosis. So I'm not going to be out here like saying, oh, yeah, this is what's going on, unless it's professionally mentioned, because like, who wants a borderline? And I guess it's like popular now, like, oh, I'm a borderline. No, it's not fucking fun. Anyway, kind of going off on a different tangent here. So my frustration with that situation is that I had to come to a very real understanding for myself, which I feel like still to this day I kind of battle with, but clearly I'm trying to do a blog about it because it is so disruptive in my life. And so to be getting to a point where you're like, fine, this is what it is, and then to have, you know, this very experienced doctor psychologist try to say, no, that's not what's going on, again, after maybe a total of an hour and 20 minutes with me, because the first one was like an hour, and then the last one he was late and it wasn't even 20 minutes. Anyway, I'm just so frustrated with that whole situation that it's now built this indecision within me as to whether or not I want to continue treatment there. So, you know, the recommendation is another round of TMS in a few months, a few months. And as much as I enjoy the techs there, because they are awesome, you guys are all awesome there, and, you know, front desk and the executive assistant, like, the staff is great, and the other doctor in that office was really awesome, non-dismissive about my mental health when I'd met with him on a separate occasion. But this has now got me, like, I don't want to go back there. And I think that him saying what he said was just so invalidating and dismissive, and that alone is a trigger for me. So I'm just really like, I am still dealing with that bear situation the other day has really kind of freaked me out, to where like last night I was trying to plan my walk, like, okay, I'll walk tomorrow, and I was just like, oh my God, what if there are bears, or what if there's a different wildlife? And then I'm like, even taking it a step further, like, what if there's a family of bears and they're like out killing humans? Like, and then I'm like, oh my God, I should be writing movies. And I'm like, no, I should be sleeping. Like, what the hell? I'm so tired. So anyway, not getting to bed until late, which for me, I'm pretty sure was around 3, because I was like, if I'm not asleep by 3, I'm gonna get up and make coffee. I didn't, but I'm pretty sure the sleep tracker is wrong. So anyway, the intention was to wake up a zombie and go and, sorry, the stupid picture in the background is giving me anxiety, because it's like pissing me off now, because it's fucking up my recordings, and I'm getting very angry. I'm getting mad at Xombie about it too, when really I could just change the painting and I don't think he'd care. but I changed so much when I moved in that I was like, well, it's not a big deal to have that there. I'm like, ugh, okay, need to bring it down a notch. Okay, the intention was to wake up early with Zombie, take him to work, and deal with the car stuff. I was too tired to do that this morning, so that did not happen. And so waking up around 9:30 took me about 30 minutes to get out of bed. I got myself ready. This is fresh mascara. And did not take a shower, not touching my hair. I think I'm going to walk and get a Starbucks coffee, and then I'm going to walk to AutoZone and get the correct oil for the car. And then I think I may try to take a scooter to Zombie and get the oil in the car. And it's not that it's imperative like that, but I know we're both just kind of worried about it. And I don't know. I'm just also trying to get out of the house, because otherwise I think I'm just going to be in here losing my mind today. So I think that it's going to be healthier if I get out and get some activity, get that errand done, and then eat. I don't know. I'm very much so all over the place this morning, and I just don't want to be. I don't want to be. And I think that's the other thing. That doctor psychologist should know that his words are going to have an impact on people, on the clients, and he should not have misspoke, in my opinion. He never should have opened his mouth about my diagnosis, not knowing and not having, frequent interactions and building that rapport to actually be able to say. Anyway, I'm gonna go get my day started, but yeah, this is where I'm at today so far with my mood. Low tolerance, irritability, fear, and maybe the fear is more like panic. We haven't talked about panic much, but panic, ugh. And yeah, anyway, just feeling out of it again. So that's really frustrating too. But I'm gonna go get my day started. 10:58 a.m. I did stop by Starbucks, and that's another frustration, is like they didn't make it right the first time. So, having to say like, no, that's not right. I can tell by the color, okay? So they were great about remaking it, but sometimes there's also that burden of like, I hate being a pain in the ass, but at the same time, I'm paying for this. I should be getting what I'm paying for. But it just kind of sucks to constantly have to speak up, especially in businesses when you're paying for service. And it's like, why can't you just do it right the first time? Anyway, got my beverages. I am still fasting. No, I do not count this as breaking my fast. And yeah, I know the lipstick's ridiculous. I don't care. I'm trying to get rid of it kind of thing. Walking to AutoZone, and then a walk to a scooter. Hopefully have drank these by then and get that oil up to Zombie. Whose dog are you? Let's see if we can get the moon. Oh God, this dog. There it is. All right, made it to the scooter. I should get some stuff from Safeway too, but I am too tired, honestly, to even formulate what I need. So I'm gonna jump on the scooter and head towards Zombie. It is 12:37 p.m. and I am in a whole mood, like very negative self-talk, putting myself down, not wanting to do anything, just a whole mood. And I don't like when I'm in this mood. Usually I really enjoy the scooter rides, and I was just like, I don't even want to be on this scooter. So very just not in a mood for anything today, and I really do not like these days. So anyway, I am making an omelet. I am going to be using this Jimmy Dean sausage. They are pre-cooked, but when I cook them, I like them super golden brown, right? So that is what I'm doing. The plan is to slice them and cook some spinach with them and then put them inside of the omelet, 2-egg omelet with some cheddar cheese. One thing I did also want to point out with these, yes, it's nice that it does not contain any of that. And interestingly, when you look at the ingredients on these and the ones that are in the frozen section, the freezer section of the store, because I get these like where the bacon is, the ingredients are very different. So something to keep in mind. I am 16 hours into my fast right now, as I did get it started pretty late yesterday. So plan is to eat. I think my tolerance for anything right now is so low that the best thing for me to do is going to be like to just chill on the couch. I do want to really work on getting shorts posted and scheduled out, like basically batching them, because I'm getting the error on my phone again that I have no storage. So that's pretty much the goals for today. I really do apologize for the videos today and my attitude maybe if it's coming through on them, because yeah, just not really having it today. And to the extent where I'm like, I don't want to do videos. They're all stupid. And what is the, like, all of that negative self-talk. So really just having to combat that today and push through, pump some videos out, and just kind of let you guys see what it's like. Another day in my life. Here we have that omelet with 3 of those sausage links, baby spinach, some cheddar cheese, 2 eggs. I've got my unsweet green black tea, more water, my coffee, and my electrolyte mix. And then I will be breaking my fast in about 16 hours, 40 minutes. So we can see I'm like picking my face too when I get super anxious like this. And then now I'm getting this error on my Mac. Go figure that the, storage is full. I'm just so irritable. And when I get like this too, I get very particular about my living space. And it has been messier than usual. I don't like that. I know I need to vacuum, just a lot of things. And then I really go through this phase of like, I need to throw everything away. I don't want anything. Just having stuff makes me very anxious. And so I'm just starting to feel very overwhelmed. And again, I don't think any of this is really true. I think maybe there's all that other stuff going on and it's just creating this like tornado chaos inside of me. And, so yeah, just really frustrated today. I was noticing when I was doing the scooter ride to Xombie to take him his oil that I was feeling almost like I was just on autopilot. Like, just need to get this done. Just need to do what needs to happen right now. And again, like, this is the thing. That oil was not that important. We could have certainly handled it this evening when he got off of work. But in my mind, I'm like, now we're cutting into our bike riding time. I don't want to do that. And then 2, my mind is also like, well, I can take care of it. I can just go get the oil and take it to him. What's the big deal? What else am I doing? So, I guess I put just additional pressure on myself to get that done so that it's not something that's cutting into our quality time later. My other issue right now is that, for one, I don't have an idea of what I'm going to eat next week. I know I mentioned that KFC imitation sandwich, and I don't know. I feel like I need to get stuff from the store, but I'm just like, I'm so scattered right now. I need to figure out something to eat for today. So I did take out some hamburger. Let me actually even go check if that is ready, because that would be what I would be having today probably like a taco salad, just trying to use what I have left. So the hamburger is almost defrosted. I'm probably just going to go ahead and cook that now and use some of the black beans I had left over. And then just make a taco salad because I have some spinach left too. I think that's just going to be the easiest thing for me to do right now. But not having an idea for meals for the rest of the week is nerve-wracking and interesting. The other thing is I have been so tempted to drink, and I really feel like a lot of that has to do with that invalidating, dismissive, interaction, and I don't want to be doing that. And while I'm at it, like, let's go ahead and take a quick look. Like, I still have an unopened bottle of my favorite wine that I purchased May 15th, and it's not being drank. I am very tempted, I'm not gonna lie. We also have the Sam's Club edition, because it's huge, of the Crown Apple that zombies drink, but I have done shots of that before, you know, but I haven't, and still going strong with my practicing sobriety. But I am pretty tempted right now, and I am noticing too that my mood is very much so becoming like, I don't want to deal with myself. I don't want to deal with these moods. And also, like, if I'm going to be tired, well, at least if I drink, I can say like, I'm tired because I drank, you know, not from whatever else. And I also want to make it clear, like, my goal is not lifelong sobriety. My goal is to build a relationship with alcohol that is healthier, that is not waking up and drinking every day. So, you know, not going to give into that right now, but again, I'm tempted. And then I was reading that like Zepbound and alcohol can have interactions, like make you sicker. And I'm just like, well, now I want to drink before I start the Zepbound. So, you know, just all this shit going through my mind that I really don't want to be dealing with. Just a lot to try and figure out when I'm in a mood of I don't want to do anything, and my mind is trying to convince me of all these negative reasons as far as like, yeah, you don't want to because blah blah blah, you know. And I'm like, oh, shut up, mind. I'm gonna go ahead and get my dinner cooked, and then I will have the same dessert as yesterday. Let's go ahead and get this salad going. It's gonna be super simple. We've got that baby spinach, just a small handful of that. Here I have some lettuce and cabbage that I have rinsed and dried. So just a mix there, mostly cabbage it looks like. That's okay. And then I'm also going to add the last of that homemade salsa. Plenty of cheese. Now this is hamburger and black beans. And I did use salt, pepper, and a Taco Bell seasoning packet. Not the whole packet, just some of it. Going to also add some sour cream. And as much as I want some guacamole, I'm not using that little spicy mini cup. I did go ahead and save half of that ground beef. So I'm thinking maybe a hamburger for tomorrow's dinner. I really just want a Roma tomato to go with the hamburger. You know, it's not a hamburger if you don't have it the way you would like to enjoy a hamburger, in my opinion. So anyway, that's becoming a whole thing. But this is where I'm at. This is my dinner for today. I'm gonna go ahead. So pretty much same dessert I've been having the past 2 days. This one just has more blueberries. This is the last of the strawberries and the blueberries. I didn't even finish all of that taco salad there, but I will be starting my fast once I'm finished with my dessert at about 4:45 today. It is currently 4:36. It is 4:47 p.m. as I am testing. And again, keep in mind that is after today's meals and the exercise from today, that walk and scooter. Remember, I had that baked potato yesterday, and I am actually enlarged now with the ketones. So that is pretty impressive, and I just wanted to share. You know, again, once you get into a good routine with fasting, exercise, and your diet being lower carb, not even low carb, it is possible to maintain a decent range of ketosis. So 5:18 p.m. and I just have to update on my mood because out of nowhere, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm feeling so much better. Even my energy has increased. What caused this? I have no idea. You guys have seen everything I've done today, so, and it is one of those things where I'm like, I don't want to question it too much. I'd rather just take it and accept it. But I am feeling much more calm. I know that I did like just a couple, like, breathing exercises, but nothing major. So it's bothersome to have these quick fluctuations in my mood to an extent, right? Like this good mood just kind of came out of nowhere, but I'll take it. And I just wanted to update, like, oh, I feel perfectly fine now. I feel human. I feel okay. I feel good. I have energy. Yay. I'm still going to sit here on the couch though for now and now probably really work on editing today's video as I've been trying to do it throughout the day. But yeah, just wanted to quickly update, like, I'm feeling better. Yay. Before I forget, make sure to tune in to Monday's video tomorrow as I will be weighing in. It will be a 1-week weight loss update after fasting the entire week, eating lower carb, being in ketosis. So make sure you stay tuned for that. It'll be fun to share that weight loss with you all. I am confident I've lost something. But what I really want to touch on right now is my mood, right? Because around 5:15, I had noticed a major improvement to the extent where it was like, how in the hell did I just feel so bad for like more than half of the day? So within the last like hour and a half, I've noticed that it's almost like residual feelings of that bad temperament that I was experiencing, in a sense, kind of keep like poking through. The way I have always described this mood is if you were to take a tennis ball and bounce it on the floor, like say you're sitting in a chair and you're bouncing a tennis ball on the floor, every time it hits the floor, it's going to be a different mood. And so that is what I'm experiencing this past hour and a half. So while yes, it's like, okay, cool, I'm feeling good, it's also like, okay, wait, now I'm feeling bad. Wait, now I'm feeling good. It's very unstable. And it's also frustrating and kind of frightening to think that I don't know what my mood's going to be in a moment. And so I just wanted to share that with you. And I am curious, can anyone else out there relate to that, rapid cycling of a mood where it's changing so quickly you don't know what mood is going to be next? And yeah, for me, that's scary. Like, I just want to stay in this better mood that I'm feeling. And I'm hoping that I stay here because it is more predominant right now than that negative mood that I've been feeling the majority of the day. But I did want to update like you and let you know, like, yeah, I'm feeling better, but it's also the tennis ball. That's what I'm going to call it. Where I just don't know how I'm going to be feeling essentially from one moment to the next. So a little scary, to be honest. But 6:46 p.m. right now. Xombie should be coming home soon. We will be heading out for that bike ride. I really think that I need to do that. And lately when I've been out and about, people have just been like weird in cars, like honking or yelling stuff out the window. And I'm just like, I don't want to deal with any of that. And be it, on my walks the other day or even yesterday when we were riding the bike, and it's just like, it's weird. I don't know. Anyway, so my goal for today is like, I don't know, definitely riding a trail where we just don't have to be bothered with traffic and odd drivers wanting to yell things out their window or randomly honk. And I know that sometimes the honking is like a compliment, but like, I don't want to deal with any of that, any of it. Like, I just want to be on my way. But yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. Update here shortly with the bike ride. And yeah, we'll just kind of see how the rest of the night progresses with my mood. But again, for the most part right now, I feel good. And when I feel good, it feels stable. But it's only like a moment's time, right? So we'll keep an eye on that. In regards to the tennis ball mood, I want to point out that what else is frightening is essentially you don't know the speed of which that tennis ball is being bounced on that ground. So you don't know if that next mood change is going to be quick or if it's going to be in an hour, right? So you just don't know the speed of that tennis ball hitting the ground. And so sometimes, like in this past hour and a half, it had been like multiple back and forth, which how I present that to myself essentially is like, okay, that tennis ball is just like going like this right now. But sometimes it smooths to a slower pace, so my emotion becomes more and more stable in a sense. And the idea for me is like, how do I keep that more positive emotion as the stable emotion? I don't know, because I don't know what provoked that more positive shift in my mood. It's easier to identify my mood usually, right, when it's changed for the worst. It seems like it's easy to say, okay, I'm upset about this. That triggered me. Instead of just saying like, I'm in a mood, although like sometimes that's what it is too. So again, just going back to like mental health is so confusing, and I'm just trying to have a better understanding of like what's happening behind the scenes in my own mind. And so can anybody else relate to this tennis ball mood? Just rapid cycling of your mood within a very short period of time. And again, we can see right now with me, it's been, we're gonna call it 2 hours, where at least this right now, this more positive mood, I am still feeling good right now. I don't feel like I've had the tennis ball hit the ground to change in maybe 30 minutes. So that is relieving. But again, it's scary until this mood becomes really consistent, like for the rest of the evening. I feel worried, because I don't like that other mood. It's not fun. But let me know if you can relate, or if you have your own term that you use for that rapid shift of your mood. I want to also quickly touch on the fact that I know rapid cycling is usually a term used with bipolar disorder. However, it just feels so appropriate for the rapid, because it is, cycle that happens with borderline. So I just wanted to put that out there. I know maybe I'm misusing that term, but it feels so appropriate for what I'm experiencing right now. And just kind of a heads up, like bipolar, you're looking at an individual who has shifts in mood, but their moods last longer, right? We're talking like weeks or months that they're in these particular moods, as opposed with borderline, like we can see today, how I was very upset this morning, low tolerance, and now here in the evening, I'm like fine, but also dealing with that rapid kind of like that negative mood trying to come back through, but the better mood being more predominant. So it is confusing, but that's mental health for you, right? So just a quick update there too, because mental health, I think, is confusing enough in and of itself. So I don't mean to misuse terms. I'm just trying to use a term that I can relate to in a sense. So there we go. went on our bike ride, kept it pretty short because I'm again in a mood, and this mood is I don't want to be in my relationship anymore. And so now I'm having to contend with that. I am going to go ahead and call it a night and see what tomorrow brings.